The fifth episode of Andor dropped yet another reveal about the life of Mon Mothma. Not only does she have a crappy husband, but she also has a bratty daughter. Lieda is actually a pretty deep-cut reference to some old Star Wars comics and role-playing sourcebooks, so today we're going to talk about her origins and then explain why she will be important to the series moving forward. The fact that Mon Mothma had a daughter was first mentioned in the 1993 Dark Empire sourcebook. She wouldn't be named until 2002 in the New Essential Guide to Characters. Side note, I loved those reference books growing up. Lieda was only ever mentioned in one Star Wars story before Andor, and even then it wasn't considered to be canon back in the Legends days. The 2005 graphic novel Star Wars Visionaries was a collection of stories from the minds of concept artists. One of those stories gave us our first look at Maul with his giant metal legs that would later be brought into the Clone Wars series. But there was one story called Entrenched, which was about a rebel soldier named Jobin during the Battle of Hoth. He is killed in the fight, but is able to hand off his recording to a friend. The message eventually makes its way to his mother, who is revealed to be Mon Mothma, and Jobin asks her to pass along his well wishes to his sister. So Mon Mothma having children is nothing new. Maybe we'll meet her son at some point. Probably not. Anything is possible, considering Lieda just popped up, but I figure Tony Gilroy wanted Mon and Perrin to have a daughter, so the lore advisors probably suggested the name Lieda for a fun reference. Unfortunately, just like Perrin, Lieda is not the kind of daughter I imagined Mon Mothma having. I mean that it's unfortunate for her. For the story, it's great. I love seeing this private, vulnerable side of the character. Genevieve O'Reilly continues to crush her scenes. The actress talked about how Mothma was almost like a statue in Return of the Jedi and the Revenge of the Sith deleted scenes and Rogue One. I feel like Rogue One just started to show who she really was underneath being a symbol and a leader. Andor is just stripping all of that away, the same way Cassian is unrecognizable at the start of the series compared to who he is in Rogue One. I look at Mon Mothma and I wonder, how on earth is this woman going to get to the point where she saves the galaxy? Not that I doubt her at all, she just seems overwhelmed all the time. I talked about this after episode 4 when we met Perrin, but she is being followed. People are spying on her, everything she tries to achieve in the Senate is undone. And then she gets home and her husband is just like, la-di-da, I'm throwing a dinner party with your enemies. I don't care about what you care about because I don't care about anything. Stop being boring and sad. Their whole family life is out of balance because Perrin just doesn't care. He doesn't support her work, he doesn't mind having dinner with war criminals. His apathy means Mothma has to care all the more. She is actively working to make the galaxy a better place for her daughter and for all future generations. She probably doesn't see her daughter as much as she would like because of that. Maybe if Perrin picked up some slack, but he clearly won't. So Lieda winds up resenting her mother and preferring her father. I'm sure she thinks her father is the fun one. That said, I do think Lieda probably has some real insight into her mother. We don't know what event the two of them were supposed to attend, but Lieda thinks her mother only wants to be involved so people can see she is involved. It sounds like maybe it was just a simple drop-off at school or something, which could be like a photo op so people get the impression Mothma is an ever-present mother. Lieda is a kid. I understand her petulance, and it's probably coming from a real desire to connect with her mother, who is making time for everyone in the galaxy but her. It lines up with their family life being out of balance. Caring about the problems of the galaxy or world is important, but if you never take time to take care of yourself and your relationships, you're going to burn out. Mothma is just trapped in an unbalanced marriage and in a government that actively does not want to help its citizens. So what does the future hold for Lieda? Well, we have next to nothing to go off of from previous content. We don't know if she lives or dies, if she improves her relationship with her mother or not. We know nothing. But I like that we are setting up multiple payoffs for Mothma's story. First, we're going to see her becoming someone that can lead the Rebel Alliance. Right now, she's being beaten down by her own family, but she will certainly come into her own more and more. Second, we're raising the stakes for Mothma significantly. We've known since Star Wars Rebels that she will publicly condemn the Emperor, forcing her to go on the run. For a while, I just assumed she was the only person at risk. Then we learned she had a husband, but he's a jerk, so whatever. If the Empire arrests him, no big deal. Now that we know she has a daughter too, Mothma making that speech is an even bigger deal. She would be putting a target on her child's back. Luthen has already mentioned sacrifice and what it takes to fight tyranny. Mon weighing the greater good of the entire galaxy against her own family is a big deal and no easy choice. Personally, I hope the two of them find some common ground. Perrin too, I guess, but I mostly care about Lieda. I hope she comes to understand her mother, get out of the bratty stage, and maybe even help her find some balance. But that's all I've got to say for now. Let me know what you think of Lieda in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for all our Andor coverage, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page for our video reactions and audio commentaries for every episode. And you can check out this playlist for all of our existing Andor content. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.